Olli, there's been a lot of focus over the past week or such on everybody having something to prove. And I know you talked about it when you signed your extension earlier this season. What do you feel like you need to prove next season?
Well, I think just being able to produce more. I think being a big part of this defense, a big part of this team, and I think being able to help us take this next step. I think we want to be a playoff team, and we want to be a playoff team consistently. I think we showed some of that this year, but I don't think we had that consistency in our game. We had some good stretches we played, but also we had some bad stretches that we had, and playoff teams don't do that. I think having that consistency night in, night out, we gotta find it. I think being part of that is a big thing for me.
And how much do you anticipate it will help for all of you coming into next season? I mean, all of you who signed last summer have been here for a year. Derek's been here for a year. That they'll just be, not that feeling out period anymore.
Yeah, I think that helps a lot. I think being familiar with each other, it's a big thing. And I think just having that training camp, we can hop right into it. I feel like last year it took a couple of days, a couple of weeks maybe even to know the guys and we had so many new guys and getting used to the system. We had a new system and everything. So I think that's should be a way quicker turnaround.
Thank you, Olli.
Yeah, thanks.
Hey, Olli, I think I remember when you signed, one of the reasons was you kind of liked the direction that things were going for Detroit. What's kind of after 1 year, what's your impression of where things are headed? Is it going quicker than you expected, slower than you expected? What was year one impression on that?
Well, I think I liked the way we played. I like the organization. I think I like where everybody's heads at. I think we all want to prove. We all want to win. I know it's been a tough couple of years here, but I think when you go into the locker room every day and the guys just want to get better and be that winning team, and that I think that shows. Like I said before, I think we had really good stretches at play, and I think we were a better team than the results at the end of the standings show. But I think the biggest thing why we end up so low is the consistency. We had bad stretches of hockey we played, and we lost a lot of games that we shouldn't have lost. And if we want to be a playoff team, we definitely can't lose those games. But there's a lot of hope. I think, and there's a lot of potential here. And I think if we can find that consistency with one more year of experience, I think we can be a playoff team.
What was your impression down the stretch getting to see Simon Edvinsson up close?
I think he was awesome. For a young guy, obviously he's a big guy. He plays with a lot of edge. He can skate. He has a lot of skill. So I think just seeing him and seeing Marco play that game and practice with us, I think just seeing that there's a lot of good players coming us who can help us as well.
Do you know? Are you planning to go to Worlds?
Yeah, I'm planning to go. I got
Okay,
still not 100%, but I hope I can go. I haven't had all the exit meetings yet, but I definitely would love to play home.
Okay. Did you say you haven't had your exit meeting yet?
No.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Olli.
Yep. Thanks.
Yeah, hi, Olli. Coming into the season, I think improving defensively was really probably the team's main focus, and that was one area that the team did show improvement in. But how much better do you guys need to be as far as shoring up, improving the goals against, just to take that next step? How much more improvement needs to be done?
I think a lot. I think we can be a lot better with that, and I think part of it is probably not as simple. I think part of it is we want to spend a lot of time in the offensive zone, and it starts that way. If you forecheck well and you don't let the other team break out clean, it just becomes so much easier to defend when you're playing 200 feet away from your own net, and that's where it all starts. But also there's definitely definitely things we can be better at with the goals against. I think like giving up easy offense was a big fault for us. I think we gave up a lot of breakaways, 2-on-1s in the key games that we shouldn't have given. And it felt like we lost games because of that. Even if we outplayed the teams, I think we just gave them a couple of easy ones, and you can't do that in this league. So I think that's something I think we can be better with.
And just what were your just impressions your first year working with Bob Bubner and him being a former head coach and a defenseman in the NHL? How much did that help, and just as far as the message and relating to the defense?
I think it was a really big thing. The Boogie really knows how to get the message across. I think he obviously, like you said, being a head coach before, so it's a video how to simplify the message to guys, and like coming to a new team with a lot of new guys. I think that's a big thing, how you get guys to play together within the system. I think for all of us that were D-core like that, that helped us a lot. Getting into a season and getting in a rhythm that quick.
Thanks, Olli.
Yeah, thanks.
Hey, Olli, you may have touched on this a little bit earlier, but from a team perspective, but what parts of your game specifically are you hoping to kind of work on this summer and improve on heading into next year?
Well, I think little stuff offensively. I think I can be a little bit more aggressive, a little bit better with my gaps. That's one thing. I think more involved offensively. I think that's a big part. I think there's a lot of good things, but there's definitely a lot of things I can be better with that. And also just overall game. There's always things you can be better with, and that's what the summer is good for. You get a couple of months to really work on those weaknesses you have. Maybe dialing a couple of things you want to do better. But definitely, I think there's a good stretch of hockey I had personally as well, and I felt pretty good with my consistency. But I feel like the end of the year, the beginning was a little better than the second half of my year, and I think just having that, being able to playing a full year in a high level, I think it takes a lot, and I think that's something you gotta strive for every year.
Thank you.
Yep, thanks.
Hey, Olli, thanks for doing this. Hey, when you look at the record, obviously before and after the trade deadline, I mean, he lost some key players and everything, and the injuries too. How much of a shock to the system was it, do you think, for you guys losing those guys at the trade deadline and all? Did it take a while for it to recover?
Yeah, I think it's always tough. You lose key guys like that who's been a part of the team for a long time here, and you can definitely feel when they leave. It just feels a little empty in there. But you know what? I think those games before the trade deadline, that was like the closest to a playoff hockey we had all year. It's just the intensity of it. And everything around it, because we're so close in it. I think it's awesome, like getting that experience, and just like getting a little feeling like that, what it's gonna be like. Obviously, it's not playoffs, but it's pretty much as close as you can get. And I think just knowing that was awesome. Obviously, it's frustrating. We lost those 2 games in Ottawa. It could have been different, but I think the whole message, like all year, has been like we're building something, and if we want to be that playoff team consistently, but you just don't bet everything on 1 year and make it 1 year. What happens next year? Maybe you don't make it now. You want to make it every year and give yourself a chance every year to be there.
Well, you mentioned those Ottawa games. I mean, you hate to single 2 games out of 82, but I mean, when you think about it now, I mean, what do you think happened? I mean, do you think the moment was just too big for some of the young guys still, or when you really think about it, I mean, what do you think happened those 2 games?
That's tough to say, but I don't think we just played good enough. I don't think we had enough of that intensity. They definitely had more of that in those 2 games, and it was tough. It was tough to see. Obviously, everybody wanted it really hard, and just losing those. I know it's only 2 games in 82, like you said, but it just felt like bigger than normal regular season games.
Your last one, when you wake up this morning, you see all the, everybody's 16 teams are in ready for the playoffs tonight and stuff. Does it really kind of hit home for sure that the season's done? Does it feel kind of empty a little bit?
Yeah, it does. It does feel a little empty. You see guys leaving for home and the rink being a little empty. And like you said, playoffs starting. It just definitely feels like you want to be in there. You want to be playing those games that matters. And but like I said, I think we can be that team, and I truly believe that.
Last one, do you watch it or not? I know some guys don't seem to watch it. Some guys watch the games. I mean, are you going to watch the games or?
I'll watch them. Yeah, when I'm here. When I go back home, it's tough about waking up middle of the night. But when they have afternoon games, I'll watch them home too.
Good deal. Thanks for this.
Thanks.
Hey, Ollie. I remember talking to you at the beginning of the year, and it seemed not that you had, very accomplished player, you're Stanley Cup champion, but you had a bit of maybe a chip on your shoulder wanting to prove something. Could this, on an individual basis, I know the team faltered and you're not a playoff team, could this situation in Detroit have worked out any better for you on a personal level?
Yeah, I felt good about it. I think just the chats we had with the coaching staff before even coming into this season, that what do we want to do, and just obviously like you said, I don't think I played my best last couple of years before coming in here. I definitely knew I had more in me, and I think those chats before the season, just trying to start the season the right way. I think there's a big thing when you're coming into a new team, that if you start on the right foot, it just everything just rolls better after that. And I think we accomplished that well. I think they put me in situations to do good, and I think that was a big thing. Just everything just started rolling after that, and I feel like I said, I felt pretty good this season. I felt my first half of the season was a little better than my second half of the season, but honestly, like it felt pretty consistent. But I think I still got more to give, and you know what, I think this summer is gonna be really big for me personally, but also for us as a team if we want to take that next step and just having more to give next season.
How much are you looking forward to being a mentor? When you look at the Red Wings organization or prospects coming up, everyone looks at the defensive core and says that, this is a pretty good young unit. Obviously, and I would imagine that the coaching staff and you just being a team player, you realize that part of you is not only going to be a terrific performer on the ice, but also kind of a teacher to these guys.
Yeah, it's weird. It kind of happens quick. Like every year, you got to take a little more responsibility with that. It's just time goes so quick. It just feels like I'm sometimes that 19-year-old guy who came in the league that was just yesterday, and all of a sudden I'm 10 years in this. But I think you can easily see and like yourself in those shoes when you look at our younger guys, like Mo, like Simon, guys like that, and you can see in those shoes like what you can help, how can you help out, but also like it's impressive when you see those guys how like well thought they are, how they carry themselves for young guys. Like it just seems like they've been in the league for a long time, and it's fun to see, and it's impressive, and just the hunger they all have, like how they want to get better and they want to win. You can see it every night when they step out there too.
You talked about maturity, and specifically with Mo Seider, I think he led the team in almost virtually every category as ice time and all that, but he just turned 22. What have you seen in him that makes him seem unflappable out on the ice? No matter what happens, he has a consistency and a balance for a player that young, which really seems to be truly remarkable.
Yeah, you're right. I think obviously we know how he's a big guy, he's a strong guy, he's a good skater. It's just a skill set he has, and everything he has like is elite. But also, I think he's a smart player. I think he's positionally really good. I think it takes that. If you play big minutes against other teams' first lines, you gotta be positionally really fit well, really good. And you gotta think the game the right way. I think he does that. I think that allows him to play that many minutes for. I think he played 82 games, right, this season.
Yep.
Yeah, see, that's impressive too. I think being able to play 82 games, because he plays hard too. So not getting hurt, taking care of body. Like I said a couple of times before, it's impressive watching him.
Ollie, thanks for this. Always enjoyed talking to you throughout the season. Have a good summer, and can't wait for training camp. I'm sure you can either.
Thanks, Art. Cool. Thanks, guys.